Hey, welcome back to Dear Twin Flame. It's Saturday afternoon and I'm bored. It's such a nice day and my kids are busy with their dad or friends and my pal is with me. Ergon, say hi. Look, say hi. And otherwise, all my friends are away at cottages or wherever. My mom's away. My grandma's away. So, I don't know how to fill my time. Thought about going to the beach, but why? I don't know. I know that Baby Bear wants to go tomorrow, so driving all the way up there today, turning around and coming back. I had somewhere to, no, because I'd still have to come back and get her. I don't know what to do. There's a million things I could do inside, but it's such a nice day. I don't want to be inside. So, I don't know. And to be completely honest, I just want to come and see you, which I'm not supposed to do. So, there's that too. Yeah. Last night went fine. I never sleep well, so I'm tired. I should probably have a nap is what I should do. But I'm not a good napper, so that's not going to happen. Nurses in and out of the room all night, sleeping on a bench, wake up call at like 5:45 to get the heck out. We're out of the building and home before 8. So, yeah, it was whatever. It was what it was. So here we are. And with nothing to fill my time. So, you know what I'll do? I'll go get my journal and I will be right back. Hold on. Hey, I'm back. Sorry. I got a little distracted. I remembered that I wanted to talk to you about the full moon that's coming up on Monday, and then my doorbell rang, and yeah, anyway, I know it's like literally like that for you, but it's been a little bit. So full moon's coming up on Monday, and it's a full moon in Aquarius. It's actually the first full moon that isn't like a super full moon or super moon or a lunar eclipse since February, which explains a lot, I suppose, when you look at all the events since February. But so it's the first standard full moon since then, and it's also balanced with Uranus and Taurus, which will suggest that we are to expect the unexpected and be prepared to be pushed into an emotional overdrive, which we've already been pushed into, but apparently it's going to get worse. So, the sun and the moon are at opposition with each other, being the sun's in Leo and the moon's in Aquarius, and which is why the strong emotions, it becomes very powerful and difficult, but also invigorating and inspiring, pushing us to our limits. Creativity and childhood are characterized by Leo in the sun, and Aquarius in full moon is a powerful dose of intrusive bright light blazing its justification. Aquarius is very fact-based and systematic, whereas Leo functions from the heart. So to have them both at their peak is makes everything come to a head, I suppose. But the purpose is to break down the barriers and open space for happier, more functional patterns to emerge. This combination of Aquarius, who's the leader in change, and the one who's prepared to sacrifice and not conform, the one who is there to break those emotional barriers in a blink of an eye, where Leo has a strong sense of self-belief in his own story, and his enormous generosity and objectives cause some strife, as both have a definite need to be right. Aquarius can verge on being mean and ruthless when his intellect is undermined or misunderstood instead of being taken objectively. It's almost as if the water heaves with a common sense of just going to the right place no matter what. Our focus during this somewhat turbulent time, both before, during, and after this full moon, is to be mindful of the measures of how great the psychic and physical energies will be and the enhanced emotional state we will all be in, and seek ways to communicate more effectively without anger will be the challenge. So there's your full moon update as it comes in on Monday. And it's funny because the first comment in the post is, oh fuck, we all need more emotional overdrive right now, right? Anyway, that's funny. So just be prepared, and whatever comes to a head. Oh, there's my pal. No, maybe not. Oh, there he is. Hey, hi, Aragon. Hi. Hi. Anyway, my thing's falling apart. Be prepared for emotional upheaval, more emotional upheaval, and choose your words for communication out of love and not anger. So there's that. So back to my journal from the Shamanism Summit. I can't remember exactly where I left off, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. If I'm not, maybe I missed a couple places. I don't know. I think I talked about that. So the main objective going forward is to loving ourselves is the cure for all, and to create a ceremony over that or around that idea is to 1, breathe, 2, find a place or space to be our authentic self, and then forgiveness is key. I think I did talk about this, but basically any situation that comes up in your meditation state, the key is I forgive you, whoever's involved, please forgive me for whatever choices I've made in that, and I love you and thank you. To let go of a toxic situation that is holding us back from moving forward. Yeah, I think I did talk about this, I remember now. Cosmic check-in, to do another, take time to find a cosmic check-in where you write I am and whatever comes up, and then I trust and whatever comes up and I feel. Okay, so moving on. Global dark night is meant to, the wind is playing havoc with my journal. I'm flipping my pages. Not that there's a lot of wind, but it's enough to turn the page. Global dark night is meant to rebirth, global transformation. So the pandemic, all the issues that everybody's facing, pandemic, economy, spiritual crisis, uprisings, the protests, all of that. They aren't meant to be our enemy. They are meant to make us all aware of the way our personal traumas, addictions. Oh my gosh. I feel like I need to make copies of them so I can have one page at a time. Okay. I'm sorry for not looking at the camera. They're meant to make us all aware of the way our personal traumas, addictions, shadows, how they all add to the collective darkness, while at the same time giving us a glimpse of what our reality could be if only we let the lessons penetrate and open our heart. Only allowing ourselves to open to both the dark and the light will allow you to fully awaken. So you have to face whatever traumas and dark. If you bury them, if you hide them away, if you pretend they don't exist, whatever that looks like, or avoid them, or deny, whatever, that just gets buried at a cellular level and it doesn't get dealt with. And if it doesn't get dealt with, then the light can't go into those areas, so you can't move forward, right? So the key is to accept, to look at them, to see them, to accept them, to forgive them, to forgive yourself, to find the gratitude in the situation, and then show love. That's it in a nutshell right there. And that's what it said over and over and over again, all these things. And I'm sorry about the camera, it's hard to hold. If we open to grace, this will end our delusions of power and ego, and it will transform us. Opening to the dark will break your heart and make you pledge yourself to a life of sacred action and try to do something real to help this disaster, to to help this disastrous situation. Opening to the light will give you the courage, joy, stamina, and peace to do the necessary actions with wisdom and strength. So, as a whole, society is at a crossroads right now where we will either transform or die out. And I don't know if you've noticed in your world, but in my world, people are either waking up or dying. Like, so many people have died. I can't even tell you. And there's just been a massive exodus from this world of people that I care about, people I love, and a lot of them I can look at and say, yes, there was crap in their world that they just refused to look at, they refused to face. And then there's others that they were starting to get it, but I feel, and I've talked to Deb about this, but I just feel like those people who were starting to awaken, who have passed on, were meant to help others find that same awareness in a different way. So letting their energy back to the collective, however that looks like. And anyway, so grace is pouring down on us right now, which we can open to, so long as we open to the horror and chaos and pain as well. So the most important thing, I forget who said all this. Sorry, some of them I wrote their names down. Andrew Harvey, he said the most important thing to do right now is pray to ensure all of our words are of love and our actions are of love, embodied love with everyone we come in contact with, as well as ourselves. Bless our inner divine animal, connect with your pets. Everyone is capable of getting to the other side of this dark night. You just have to be willing to face whatever is being brought up. But it's funny. I've talked a couple times about this friend who, it's all about the conspiracy theories and everything. And I was talking to her the other day, and she, Ergon, come here, lay down. Big guy. I was talking to her the other day, and just the way she was talking, first of all, she wasn't raving about, hey, come here, lay down. Sorry. He's trying to get in my house, knocking on my door, and nobody's there to answer except me. Hold on. So I was talking to her, and she mentioned mentioned, what did she mention? She mentioned something coming up. Oh, so she's been adamantly against the masks, and I don't like masks. But I don't have a real reason to say, make a big scene about it and refuse to wear one. And if it makes everybody happy, then it's no skin off my nose to have to wear one. So whatever. So but she brought it up, and I was like, oh, here we go, about how they can't tell us what to do, which is what she was ranting about before. And it was interesting because she's been journeying a lot lately, and it came up that in her past life she was probably a prisoner of some kind, but she had a mask on and she wasn't allowed to speak, and like a full-on iron mask, and they would unlock it for her body at that time, whoever she was at the time, to eat, and then they would lock it back again. And so she has a cellular, like a ancestral trauma, a past life trauma, that is causing her to kick and scream and carry on in this world, because she has that memory, that trauma in her DNA that's not allowing her to just get over it. So, but she's recognized that, so she's taking steps to work through that, because obviously we now have to wear masks wherever we go if we want to go out in the world. So but but it made her face. So it was interesting because before she just kept telling us we were all wrong and how we were delusional and how we were being controlled, and somewhere there's been a shift that has allowed her to look at things and see why she's reacting that way, and to see, where she needs to do some work in order to let go of that anger, to let go of that fear. It was interesting talking to her. It was nice because it gave me a little bit of hope. I didn't know how to help her, and she didn't want my help, and it was creating a bit of a wall. So it was nice to see that awareness of her traumas, and is letting her do some work to move past them. So, and that's basically what they're saying through all of these shamanism classes was, we have to look at the dark and look at the anger and look at the hate and look at the whatever the negatives are, and see why we're having those reactions. Now he wants out. Check this out. He's just sitting now. I don't know if you can see him. He wants out. Nope, you're in there now. You want it in. Anyway, ba-dum. So then we listened to Ash Johns, who studies hoodoo, which is an African and indigenous religion, belief. And they believe that the cause of all suffering is separation. There's no need to be separated, and we need to all come together. And it's the exact same idea as everybody else's, which says that, society has moved to this I, and it's not about I, it's about we, because we are all connected, because energy is all connected. And my screen just went weird, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so, and also that, those ancestors are connected to us always. So ancestors are always around us, as well as their DNA in our bodies. Their fears and unprocessed traumas, needs, desires are all influencing our lives. So that's what we just talked about, right? And I think I've talked about it before too, that our ancestors give us strength, and they give us knowledge, and they give us support, but they also give us their traumas and their fears, and unless we look deep and try to figure out why we have the fears, and instead of letting them just control us and make the choices that they do. So my ancestral fear were the ones that were blocking me from looking into Druidism or Druidry. In the Druids, I had no interest, and it wasn't that I was afraid. I had no interest, and as soon as I watched the one presentation from the guy who studied or who practices Druidry, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, that's me. I didn't even recognize it. I didn't even recognize it as something to be afraid of. I didn't recognize it. I just recognized that I wanted nothing to do with it. And whether that meant, no, I'm pretty sure no, because everything he talked about was me in a nutshell. So, but my ancestors, or the Druids, were massacred. So any lineage that is still attached to me is saying, don't do it, because you'll be massacred for it. You'll be persecuted for it. Whatever it looks like, you'll be run, like, it will be, not only will it be taken away from you, but everything, like your life will be taken from you. So, calling in the ancestors and creating a relationship with them, but then discerning what are the traumatic wounds, cycles of oppression, or limiting beliefs or fears of scarcity, and do we need to heal those, and who's stopping that from happening? What blessings do we need to reclaim? So just going back and saying, I see this is not who, this is not me, or this is not something I want to hold. This is something that I can move past, or this is a blessing. So this is something I'm grateful for, looking back through our ancestors. Then they went on to things about dealing with ancestors, which is cool for those of us who are, working with energy and healing, because ancestors come up a lot. So is when you're dealing with ancestors, you should go further back. So don't necessarily go with the ones that are, recently passed, because they're still traumatized from recently passing. And also they haven't worked through releasing all that's happened in this world, whereas ones that are further back, unless it was something traumatic like the annihilation of all of their people, they usually have a clearer outlook because they've had more time to reflect. And then prayers or asked should not be necessarily for yourself, but for the betterment of everyone around you, for the good of all involved in the world at large. Come from a space of your heart. Be as expressive as possible. Yeah. So just always show great gratitude, and always remember that if your asks aren't for the collective, or they aren't for your not for your personal gain, that's ego, but for the betterment of the whole, then those will be granted much easier than ones that are meant for, ego. Then great grandmother Mary Lyons, she is a tribal leader in South Africa somewhere. She asked us to embrace your fear spirit. I didn't write she was a very interesting lady to listen to, but I didn't write a lot down from her. I just listened. But basically that statement, embrace your fear spirit, was her biggest message. And basically if it makes you afraid, it's something that you have to embrace, walk through, and get to the other side. That's it in a nutshell. Because when we do that, that's when we create balance. And also, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but show gratitude and thank the four directions. So that's one of their tribal beliefs, thanking the north, the east, the south, the west, air, earth, water, and fire. And thank your ancestors, because they all are key factors. What time is it? 20 minutes. I know it's longer because there was another recording before. So I will just finish this one little piece, and then the next one is all about Druidism. So or Druidry. I'll leave that. At least it's a good indication of where to start again. The last person I'll talk about today is Sandra Ingerman. She talked about concentration and focus, and how as a society we don't do that very well anymore. There's just so much. There's so much stimulus, whether it's TVs, screens, multiple screens on one screen. Our kids don't concentrate, aren't able to focus. And one of the key to shamanisms and to access spirit are to slow all those, and look and just find the peace, find the quiet place to be able to hear, to be able to experience what they want us to experience, their views, and to see what we can't see because we're too distracted and too busy talking. And we're too busy talking, we're too busy being inundated by information here on this plane to be able to hear the guidance of our ancestors and the spirit around us. Again, she talked about, it's not about the me, it's about the we. My vision is small, therefore my wisdom isn't vast enough. Outside noise is cutting us all off from spiritual knowledge, and we need to bring back the simple ways. So, the kids going to school and having classes outside, that's a key step. So, and that's being forced upon us. Well, forced upon society, I suppose. Not me. I'd have my kids outside all the time if I could. But basically to slow down that inner dialogue, whether that's being perpetuated by watching videos of people, but to quiet our minds and allow that ability to listen to spirit and hear where we're being guided. Just saw 222 on there, so actually 22. Anyway, that was her main lesson of the class. I will put my marker in this time. Druidry is next on the list, but I will do it another day. I hope you're enjoying this long weekend. I hope something is, I hope something's come up to allow you to, enjoy it, enjoy yourself. Anyway, Saturday, I'm gonna go to the beach tomorrow, probably Backs Point, and Monday, I'm having a full moon. I'm having some people over for full moon gathering. So if you want to come, just call your sister. She knows where I live. She was supposed to come. Well, she was invited to come, but she's at the cottage. But Dawn is going to come, and a couple other friends, hopefully. Just going to be, depending on the weather, either in the backyard or in my house, whatever. And just offering our gratitude and everything to the full moon and enjoying the space with each other. And then Tuesday I'm heading to London because my kids have to be fitted for uniforms, and my mom has the day off, so she wants to go to the Mandela bookstore, and it's open on Tuesday, so that's good. And so we'll be in your area, so I will wave as we drive by. Until next time, dear twin flame, you have all my love for all my life. Be good.